when you look at this, right? I said this. I don't know if I said this while I was live or in a video, but if you are a woman and you're raising children who are publicly calling out their father like this, you failed some way down the road, because it should never get to the point to where the son is calling out the father. You know why? Because a good mother would keep their kids out of whatever situation that they're in. Now, again, this situation could be different than the Dwight Howard situation, because Jacoby, I believe, is 18 now. And he's had his run-ins with the law. He wants to follow in his father's footsteps. Now, maybe his father won't help him with his career. I don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of these people's relationships. We don't know how they deal with each other. We don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. Maybe Future has tried to help him. Y'all know people become very ungrateful if you help them too much. You help them too much, they resent you. I'm not saying Future's perfect at all. But again, we don't know the dynamic of that situation. We don't know how the mother was towards Future, because I'm telling you right now, men, there are men who are not going to put up with a woman, acting crazy towards them. They will leave. They will leave. They're not going to stay in that situation. They're just not. They're going to distance themselves, unfortunately, due to the fact of the baby's mother feeling some type of way because she ain't with the dude. We know this. If they can't have you, they don't want nobody else with you. And they're going to make your life miserable because you ain't with them. And they're going to use your kids in order to do it. All right? Now, according to this article, it says it isn't entirely clear how many children rapper Future has, but some reports estimate that there are as many as 8. And that's what is reported. The two youngest have gained attention within the last year after the children's mothers took Future to court over paternity. One of those women has faded away from the limelight after reportedly reaching an agreement with the rapper. Future probably paid off, signed his rights away. Who knows, man? Or maybe he wasn't the father, but again, we don't know. But his contentious legal battle with Eliza Rain has become an indefinite cycle of drama. Not much is known about the mothers of Future's children aside from the more famous figures like Sierra and Joy Chavis. But he was sued by a woman named Jessica Smith years ago. She took him to court for child support and reportedly stated that the rapper neglected their son Jacoby, and a repost from the team may have co-signed those allegations. This is crazy. Recently, Dwight Howard faced accusations from two mothers of his children who claim that he hasn't reached out to his sons. Howard's 12-year-old son Braylon, who he shares with Royce Reed, even took to his Instagram story
Why
to pen a
women love
note
having
saying
kids by
he's out
deadbeat
there.
men who don't want children?
Shout out to Shayna. Shayna, I don't know. I think women have a fetish somewhere. I think there are women that have a fetish for men to have a bunch of kids, because to them he's a man that is liked by a lot of women. He gets women attention. It's like validation that they like a guy that he has children. They like baby mama drama, arguing and fussing and fighting competing with other women for his attention. There are women that like those type of situations. It says that note seems to have struck a chord with Jacoby because he reportedly reposted Braylon's message to his Instagram story. Jacoby didn't add anything to the post, so spectators have only assumed that it's a cosign to his personal life. Jacoby recently had a run-in with the law earlier this year, but all charges against him were reportedly dropped. It's crazy, man. And that is his Instagram, and this is the story in regards to his son. Very sad. I did a video on that. Y'all can go and check the video out on my Jaye the Black channel. it's crazy how these young men grow up and they feel the burden of having to be the man of the house, and they have to step in and step to the father. Again, this is an epic failure on the mother. The mother should never put the children in the middle of their situation, but they do that when they're angry and they're bitter, when their life didn't turn out the way that they wanted to. They really thought that they had a future with Future, and it never worked out. So they always carried this grudge. I believe that Future's baby's mothers have always carried this grudge with them, and they utilize their children to do it. These women, especially the later baby mothers, the baby mothers, the recent ones, they know better. Now, maybe the first baby's mother, which is the mother of Jacoby, maybe she didn't know Future would be who he is now. But these women, these last two women, knew exactly the type of guy Future was. Okay? And they got with him anyway. They had unprotected relations with him, and now they want to go to court crying about how they can't afford those children. Well, you should have thought about that before you had unprotected relations with Future. Once again, you need to take accountability for your actions. And there are a lot of women out here who don't want to take accountability for the things that they do. Take accountability for the fact that you knew Future ain't about wife and chicks. He dealing with other women, and you still get with him anyway and have unprotected relations because you wanted a baby by a rapper. And you really thought that you had hit the lottery. And I'm talking about, what's her name? Eliza Rain. She really thought that she hit the lottery. And then she got brought back down to earth because Future has the money to hire lawyers to fight the case until that kid is 18 years old. And she's finding that out now. She's finding it out now. These women need to be careful of who they deal with. There's already enough fatherless, melanated children out here. We don't need no more of them. We don't need any more fatherless, melanated children out here, because what happens is you have young kids who grow up dysfunctional, confused, angry at the world. They have no role models in it, because really your role models are supposed to be your parents. Those are the people that you look up to because you want to live life the way that they did, to be responsible, to be accountable, to work hard, to be successful. And when you don't have that, these kids, they go looking for leadership, for father figures in all the wrong places. They look for love in the wrong places. You got young girls that look for love in the wrong places because they never had a father. These young boys, they turn to the streets. They feel like they have to validate and prove their manhood by getting it in the streets. So, hopefully, this situation can be solved the right way. They can sit down and talk and have conversations. I don't know. Future to me just seems like he's kind of like Wayne. He's just in his own world, man. He just in his own world. He ain't really caring about what's going on. But at least Wayne take care of his kids. None of his kids you gonna see complaining about him.
Another young boy is about to become emotional.
Shout out to Marwan. Well, it seemed like he's getting to those levels. Of that, you know.